We're down to the final 9 home dates on the schedule before what we hope is another deep October run. But got to get to the postseason first and keep stacking wins. Tonight, the Dodgers look to win their 3rd in a row as they take on the Colorado Rockies right here in 30 minutes. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by your Toyota dealers. John Hartung, Jerry Hairston Jr., and Adrian Gonzalez with you. We'll have more on tonight's game in just a moment. But first, we're joined by the guy who was the catcher behind the plate for the last 3 games. It's Ben Rortvedt, who's making his Sportsnet LA debut. He's got the headset on in the dugout. Ben, thank you so much for coming on with us. Welcome to LA. It's quite a first 3 starts for you with the Dodgers, a near no-hitter on Saturday, another one last night. But I want to go back to Saturday, Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound, a guy that you've never caught before. What was going through your mind as you get to the 8th inning and then you get to the 9th inning? Were you feeling any nerves at that point? Are you just so focused on calling pitches? And what did you think when that ball left the yard? There were 2 outs in the 9th.
What a fun game that was going into the 9th. I think just really trying to hone in on focus with Yama through the pre-game bullpen all the way through the game kept me pretty focused and not worried about the hit list that we had going. Just a good conversation with Mark and Yama in the dugout kept us dialed throughout the whole game and just trying to stay focused and keep him in the game as long as possible. And that kind of just came along with it. Kind of really started set in around the 7th and really got specific with kind of pitches we were calling. And 9th came out and just try to do our best.
Ben, what's going on? This is Jerry. First and foremost, congrats on an incredible last name. That last name sounds like a Marvel superhero. Rortvedt, I just love it. But for you, to be able to catch in the big leagues, you know the relationship you have to have and the trust you have to have with the pitchers. The starting pitchers first and then the relievers. You come in here and be able to hit the ground running. Talk about the communication you've had so far with the pitchers, because it's been blatantly obvious they have gained your trust.
Yeah, I've been thrown in this situation, and it hasn't been easy, but it's been one that I've been familiar with. I got traded on the opening day to the Rays 2 years ago, so I was in a similar situation trying to learn guys on the fly, and it's pretty hard, but it's the more you care, the more you get out there, talk with them, share ideas, see the ball out of their hand as much as you can. You see that they care, and with New York, when I got brought up, I didn't know any of the guys, so it was very similar, getting out there, getting as many reps as I could, just so I could be on the same page with them, keeping it open, and then just doing my homework the most I can. And trust isn't built in a day. I mean, it's built over a course of time. I know that now, and just doing my best to be there for those guys, and that's all you can do.
Hey, Ben, Adrian Gonzalez here. You know, you're doing such a great job building that trust and really understanding that you got to just be thrown into the situation. And, you know, when it comes to this game planning and preparing for a game, when you were talking prior to the game with the starting pitcher and Mark, do you tend to lean on more on the pitcher's strengths, or do you go more on the hitter's weaknesses when you're building that game plan? And then once you're in a game, do you stick with that game plan, or do you adjust based on what you're seeing from your pitcher or what you're seeing from the opposing hitters?
Yeah, it's interesting. Good point here. With guys on this staff, I mean, you can lean on strengths most of the time. But I think from a foundational standpoint, I'm just trying to learn what they have, what it even looks like. I'm just trying to catch the ball in the beginning of the game, being honest. I'm doing my homework games series prior on the hitters, so I know have a background basis of how I want to attack the guys, and then I'm kind of going into the meeting trying to learn the guy, what he likes, set up, how I can get him, how I can kind of understand how he likes being talked to, doesn't like being talked to, and just kind of like formulate the pieces of the puzzle. So I think doing the background of understanding who we're facing, and then in kind of where I'm at is understanding, just getting a glimpse of what these pitchers like to do, how they like to tie people, and it's all pieces of the puzzle. Situational awareness comes in, but it all works its way out.
Well, Ben, you've experienced quite a bit of adversity in your career. As we're just trying to get to know you. You've only been in the organization for about 6 weeks. I read about 3 knee surgeries that you've had, and also an aneurysm near your shoulder. So what has kept you going through all of this? And also, how did you discover that you had this aneurysm near your shoulder?
Yeah, 3 knee surgeries, just meniscus. So I got some meniscus left. We're still going, but the aneurysm was a weird one. I got traded to New York in 2022. I think 23 I came in off of playing winter ball, and at the end of winter ball, my finger was turning blue, and it really hurt every time I caught. It was really cold throughout the off season. We really couldn't figure out what it was from. Spring training came around, and I was just trooping. I was getting ready for the season, but I was almost wincing every time I caught a baseball, but I felt really good. Ended up talking to Trevino, Jose. He said he's seen it before, so kind of started taking it more serious after he's seen a case like that. I saw a specialist in Texas, and then they actually traced it up to my armpit. So I had surgery. It was a pretty easy surgery. Just was down for a month, but missed a lot of time there. It's hard on you. I mean, you get a lot of perspective. I have a lot of perspective. I've failed a lot up here. I've had some success, but I think it makes you who you are. You get back to seeing what kind of baseball player you're here to be. I'm here to be a piece. I'm here to be for the pitchers, and I'm here to be a tough out, get on bases for the big boys to drive in. So.
Ben, I know you don't know this, you just got here, but I do a lot of research before I come on air. And I was able to research early this morning that they call you Benny Biceps. And also, I also know that you're from Wisconsin. There's no way in the world you're a Packers fan, correct?
Sadly, I don't watch as much football as a lot of guys around here. I'll go to football games. I have a lot of fun doing it, but I'm not the biggest football fan. I am a Packer fan out of everybody, but I don't watch enough football to call myself a cheesehead. But I am from Wisconsin. I love my home state. I've been called Benny Biceps. I don't know where that one started. I think that was with the Twins. Everyone's trying to get a nickname from me, but I'll go by anything. I'm just glad to be here.
Hey, Ben, so you're not much of a football fan. What are you a fan of? What did you play growing up? What was your favorite sport other than baseball as a kid growing up?
Growing up, I played baseball. I love baseball. I played a lot of soccer. My brother played soccer in college, so I played it up until about high school. I got bullied into playing football because I was built like this when I was like 16. I didn't know what I was doing out there. I was running around with a chick with my head cut off, so I quit that pretty fast. Played football until high school when I stunted my growth from lifting. Then started focusing on baseball. I just liked being outside as a kid. My whole family was outdoors, so anything to get outside, have some fun, just here for a good time.
All right, so not a full-blown diehard cheesehead, Jerry, but you being a Bears fan, he is still go Pack go, so I'm sorry.
No Packer fan is really a Packer fan. Who wants, who wants cheese on their head?
Including my son, who's a big Packers fan. Ben Rortvedt. Ben, thank you so much for coming on with us. Great start to your Dodger career. Continued success, man. Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank
Ben.
you guys.
Thanks,
I appreciate
Ben.
it. Have a great one.
All right, let's see how Dave Roberts is stacking his lineup against Rockies right-hander German Marquez. It's the usual top three: Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. One night after Max Muncy returned, we have Will Smith back in the lineup. He does the catching, batting fourth. And then you see Max Muncy's at third, Teoscar Hernandez in right, Michael Conforto in left, Andy Pages in center, and Miggy Rose getting the start at second base. Adrian, what sticks out to you?
I'd love to see Will Smith, Max Muncy in the middle of that lineup there. Really, really excited for tomorrow when we get to see Tommy Edman in there.
Yep.
Have the whole crew ready to go.
And I love Miguel Rojas getting an opportunity. Obviously, the big Will is back in the middle of the lineup. He's ready to go.
Well, Jerry, we know that the Dodgers offense, for the most part, the last couple months, they've been wildly inconsistent. So you get Max Muncy back, you get Will Smith back in the lineup tonight. That should be a nice spark for these guys down the stretch.
Absolutely. You got run producers back, and that's so important to have guys in the middle of the lineup that know how to drive in runs. And we mentioned it last time with Max Muncy. It provides protection for the guys ahead of them, and they should get even better pitch to hit. And also when guys like Conforto, Teoscar Hernandez, they're able to slide down, and hopefully they get more production on those spots. It just deepens the lineup. And when you have all-stars like Max Muncy and Will Smith together, it just strengthens this lineup.
And when we talked about the lineup going into the season, we talked about the 6-7 guys that we were deep. And for the most part of the year, we've had 1 or 2 or 3 guys missing. and you haven't had that consistency. So having these guys back and having the consistency, like you said, the length in that lineup, being able to provide and knowing where you fit in that lineup and how the lineup's going to work, this is great going into these last 2-3 weeks of the season to get ready for the postseason. Love what I'm seeing the guys get healthy.
I'll make a comment. I remember earlier Pages was hitting 8th or 9th, and he just really wasn't comfortable doing that. Sometimes when you hit down the order, you don't have a bat in your hand for a couple innings. I would suggest to Pages, grab a bat that very first inning, have that feel of that bat, almost act like you're hitting the first inning, so when you do have that bat in your hand in the second or that third inning, you're ready to roll. It's difficult sometimes hitting late in the lineup, but we need Pages' production no matter where he's hitting in the lineup.
Absolutely do. We're getting closer to first pitch here at Dodger Stadium, and the Dodgers getting healthy at the right time with Max Muncy returning last night. Tonight it's Will Smith back in the lineup, and tomorrow Tommy Edman will be back in there as well. We're going to get a game preview with Joe and Oral from the booth. That's coming up next. Plus, Mookie Betts has returned to form, hitting .328 over his last 30 games. We'll discuss the importance of Mookie being back to being Mookie.
Davis or Hershiser. Kirsten Watson joins us in just a moment. Last night with the 7 innings from Tyler Glasnow. Continuation of really, you go back to the beginning of August, they've been one of the best staffs in baseball, but especially the last few days, dominant starting pitching.
Yeah, there is strength all over this team, but currently the #1 strength is the starting pitching, and it gives you a lot of hope moving forward towards October and then into October. When you see what these starters are doing, they are setting the bullpen up for success because there's less outs to cover, because these guys are not only effective, but they're going deep into games, and boy, have we seen a lot of swing and miss from these guys.
And it's going to be Emmett Sheehan tonight.
Well, the youngster will lead them tonight, and, you know, fastball, changeup, slider, but get these guys on the other side swinging and missing at a breaking ball. They did a lot of that last night.
Let's go down to Kirsten.
Thanks, Joe. Well, yesterday we saw the return of Max Muncy activation. That means there was a roster move, which means that Ben Kasparius, he was optioned back to OKC. Dave Roberts was saying it was, of course, a tough conversation, but the focus for Ben is just to work on getting righties out. He is still very much a part of the conversation for the October postseason roster. The other guy who will be back out there is going to be Will Smith. He took a foul ball off of his right hand on the road trip, has been down the last 4 days, but that hand grip is stronger. He feels so much better, so he'll be out there, of course, today and hopefully tomorrow as well, guys.
All right, Kirsten, good news. Last time that Will Smith was in this ballpark, he ended the homestand with a walk-off home run. That was off of the bench. He's in the starting lineup today as the Dodgers go for a 3rd consecutive win. We've got first pitch coming up. 48 home runs this year. He's now 2 shy of Kyle Schwarber, who hit his 50th today in a 9-3 Philadelphia win. Dodgers again 4.5 back of the Phillies for the 2 seed. (2-0). Ball 3.
It's not a green light, it's a bright green light.
Flashing with horns and sirens.
Exactly. He didn't want a piece of it, though. For some reason, he was just taken.
Three and two.
If Marquez is going to succeed tonight, it's going to be with some spin. That's about the only pitch right now that he has found effectiveness with throughout the year.
Here's his payoff. Ohtani takes outside ball 4. It was the curve, but it missed away. For Ohtani, his 98th walk taken this year. That's a career high. And a 1-0 from Marquez. Ohtani runs, throw to second, not in time. Stolen base, Shohei Ohtani. Number 18 of the year.
We have seen fewer and fewer attempts, but he is picking his spots now, and this is a nice team stolen base. Now that he's pitching, also, we've seen less use of the wheels.
There's a fly ball to left center field, traveling deep. Beck's going back. It's got a chance. It is gone. It's a 2-run home run for Mookie Betts. And it's a 4th consecutive game with multiple runs batted in for Betts.
This was really pretty for a powerful swing.
The swing, the contact, the ball flight, the backspin to get carry. He got it all in this one. Very efficient.
Number 17 of the year for Mookie is third over the last week. Walked and scored his last time. On base 8 of his last 11 times up. On the ground to first, and it gets by Torlio. Baez makes the turn and comes home, and it's 4-0 or 5-0.
Well, he hit the ball hard in his first at bat at about 108 miles an hour. This is a bullet again, but this one on the ground finds its way to right field. That one at 102.